Hey everyone, and welcome back to Love Hackers. I'm Alex Carter,
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
and we are your dating experts here to help you decode all the complexities of love and relationships. And, today we're diving into a topic that might be a little bit uncomfortable for some people.
Absolutely.
We're going to be talking about why married women might be attracted to other men.
Yeah. It's a sensitive subject for sure.
It is, but it's real,
It's real.
and it's something that we need to talk about. So we're going to be exploring the signs, the reasons, and how to navigate this whole tricky situation from all sides, whether you're the husband, the wife, or even the other man.
Exactly. We're going to cover it all.
So let's just jump right in. Okay, let's
Mm.
say you're a husband and you're starting to get this feeling that your wife might be, emotionally invested in someone else.
Yeah.
How can you tell? How can you tell if your intuition is right? What are some signs that there might be something more than just a friendship going on?
Well, I think the first thing to look for is emotional absence. It's like she's there, but she's not really there.
Right.
You try to connect with her, but she seems distant and withdrawn.
Yeah, it's like she's checked out of the relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times that emotional energy is being directed towards someone else.
Yeah, and that's one of the hardest things, I think, for a partner to deal with because it's so subtle.
It is. And it can be really difficult to pinpoint what's going on, especially if you're not used to, communicating openly about your feelings.
Absolutely. So emotional absence,
Sure.
that's one red flag.
Yeah.
What else should husbands be looking out for?
Another telltale sign is if she's constantly talking about a new friend, especially if it's a male friend,
Uh-huh.
and her face just lights up every time his name comes up.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she's reliving their interactions in her mind, and you're just not a part of that world anymore.
And maybe she starts dressing a little bit more provocatively
Yes,
when she's going out to meet these new friends.
precisely.
It's like she's trying to impress someone.
It is. And it's a subtle shift, but it can speak volumes.
Mhm.
Now, this doesn't mean that every time your wife puts on a nice dress, she's trying to attract another man. But
Of course not.
if you notice this behavior coupled with some of the other signs we're talking about, it might be worth paying attention to.
Okay, so we've got emotional absence and, this fascination with a new male friend. What else?
Keep an ear out for how she talks about other people's relationships.
Oh, interesting.
If she's constantly bringing up a male friend who's in a troubled marriage,
Okay.
almost to the point of obsession, that's another potential red flag.
Oh, wow.
It's like she's living vicariously through their drama, maybe even fantasizing about what it would be like to be in that situation herself.
Almost like she's comparing her own marriage
Yes,
to this other seemingly more exciting relationship,
exactly.
which is, it's a slippery slope
It is.
because it can lead to, a lot of dissatisfaction.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that, we often project idealized versions of ourselves and our relationships onto others, especially when we're feeling unhappy or unfulfilled.
So we've got 4 signs so far: emotional absence, talking excitedly about new friends, particularly male friends dressing more provocatively, an obsession with a male friend's troubled relationship.
Right.
So if a husband is noticing these signs, what's the next step?
Well, I think before jumping to conclusions, it's important to understand why a married woman might find herself attracted to someone else. There are several common reasons for this, and understanding them can help navigate the situation more effectively.
Okay, so let's get into those reasons then.
Yeah.
I think this is where it gets really interesting because it helps us move from suspicion to understanding.
Absolutely. Sometimes it just comes down to, that spark fading.
Yeah.
In a marriage, you remember those early days when everything was new and exciting?
The honeymoon phase.
Exactly. Those stolen kisses, late night talks.
Yeah.
The thrill of just being together.
Yeah, who doesn't miss those butterflies?
Exactly. But as life unfolds, jobs, kids' routines,
Yeah.
they can sometimes chip away at that initial passion. And for some women, the allure of recapturing that intense connection elsewhere can be strong.
It's like they crave that emotional high.
Yes.
They once had that feeling of being truly seen and desired.
Precisely. And sometimes it's not even about a lack of love for their husband.
Right.
It's more about that nagging feeling of what if?
Okay.
Maybe they married young and didn't have much experience dating other people.
So they're experiencing a bit of FOMO,
Yeah.
fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out on what else is out there.
Right.
And that can be a powerful motivator, especially when combined with a sense that their own marriage has become predictable or, dare I say, a little boring.
It's that age-old saying, the grass is always greener.
Right.
But, sometimes I think the problem isn't just emotional.
Oh, absolutely.
It can be physical, too.
Physical intimacy is a vital part of any healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And when a woman isn't feeling fulfilled in that area, it can lead her to seek that satisfaction elsewhere.
I imagine that can be especially tough if she feels like she can't talk to her partner about it.
Absolutely, open and honest communication is crucial in any relationship, but it's particularly important when it comes to sensitive topics, like physical intimacy.
For sure. So we've talked about a fading spark, the fear of missing out, and lack of physical satisfaction.
Right.
Are there any other big reasons why a married woman might be attracted to someone else?
Well, sometimes it can be as simple as feeling neglected.
Okay.
If her husband is constantly working, traveling, or just generally checked out of the relationship,
Yeah.
she might start to feel lonely and unimportant.
Right. And that loneliness can create a void that she might try to fill
Exactly.
with someone who's giving her attention.
Precisely. And then there's another reason that's a bit more complex and, frankly, counterproductive.
Yeah.
Sometimes a woman might be attracted to another man as a way of trying to get her husband to chase her again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a subconscious strategy to
Yeah.
reignite the passion, to feel desired and pursued again.
It can be, but it's a risky game.
Yeah.
Because instead of addressing the root cause of why she's feeling distant or unhappy, it just creates more drama and tension in the relationship.
So rather than, playing these games or resorting to chasing after her, what would be a healthier approach
Right.
for the husband in these situations?
It all comes down to, open and honest communication,
Uh-huh.
talking about what's really going on beneath the surface.
Yeah.
If the spark is gone, focus on reigniting that passion.
Okay.
Plan those romantic dates, surprise each other, make an effort to reconnect emotionally and physically.
Right.
And if physical intimacy is an issue, then maybe it's time to have an open and honest conversation about what's working and what's not in the bedroom.
It seems like the key takeaway here is to address the root cause of the issue.
Exactly.
Not just try to put a Band-Aid on the symptoms.
Exactly. And, up until this point, we've been looking at this from the husband's perspective.
Right.
But what if you're on the other side of the equation?
Okay.
What if you're the one a married woman is attracted to?
Now that flips the script entirely.
It does.
It's a whole different set of complexities, and I bet it can be pretty confusing
Oh, yeah.
to decipher what's going on and how to handle it responsibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a real head-scratcher.
It can.
So how can someone tell if a married woman is attracted to them?
Right.
What are some signs to look out for?
Well, first, pay attention to how she talks to you about relationships. Does she frequently ask about your love life?
Okay.
Is she overly interested in, whether you're single or seeing anyone?
And what about if she brings up the topic of sex?
Ooh.
Either her own experiences or just in general?
Yeah.
Could that be a sign?
It could be her way of gauging your comfort level with intimate conversations.
Interesting.
Testing the water, so to speak.
Okay, so how she talks about relationships is one thing. What about her behavior? Are there any telltale signs there?
Definitely observe how she reacts to you. Does she seem to find you incredibly funny,
Okay.
even if your jokes aren't landing with everyone else? Does she laugh a little too hard at your stories or go out of her way to touch your arm during conversations?
So she's got those rose-colored glasses on when she's around you,
Right.
seeing you in a more idealized light.
Right. And does she create opportunities to spend time with you?
Okay.
Does she linger after meetings, invent reasons to chat, or go out of her way to be around you?
So she's really putting in the effort
She is.
to make those connections.
Exactly.
What about all the digital breadcrumbs we leave these days? Does her online behavior offer any clues?
Absolutely. Pay attention to how often she texts or calls.
Right.
Especially outside of work or social events, if she's reaching out frequently, initiating contact without a specific reason that's crossing a line.
Okay.
And be mindful of the compliments she gives. Does she compliment you a lot?
Uh-huh.
And does her tone of voice change when she does?
Oh.
Maybe becoming a little lower, a little huskier.
Those are some subtle but powerful cues.
They are.
It sounds like it's all about reading between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Paying attention to those unspoken signals.
Precisely. But here's the biggest red flag of all. Does she lie to her husband about you?
What?
Does she downplay your relationship, saying you're just friends or acquaintances?
Wow.
That level of deception is a serious indicator that something's amiss.
Right. Because it shows intent.
It does.
It shows that she's willing to, be dishonest.
Yes.
To protect this connection.
Exactly.
So, okay, let's say you're picking up on some or even all of these signs,
Yeah.
and it's becoming clear that this married woman is attracted to you. Now what? This is where things get really tricky.
They do, and there are no easy answers here. It comes down to personal values and what you're comfortable with. The first option is to minimize contact, create some distance, and let the attraction fade naturally.
So if you're not looking to get involved with a married woman, that's the cleanest, most ethical route to take.
Exactly, but what if you are interested?
Okay.
What if the feeling is mutual?
That's a whole other can of worms, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If you decide to pursue her, you need to proceed with extreme caution and be absolutely sure of her situation.
Right.
Is she actually separated
Uh,
or in the process of getting a divorce?
yeah.
Getting involved with someone who's still legally married can lead to a world of hurt and drama.
Not to mention the ethical implications.
Absolutely.
And then there's the third option, and I think we all know where this is going,
Right.
becoming her secret lover.
Right, and that's a path fraught with complications and potential consequences.
Yeah.
We're talking about infidelity, which can have a devastating impact on everyone involved. It's a choice that should never be taken lightly.
So what's the takeaway for our listeners today? What wisdom can we impart to help them navigate these choppy waters?
I think first and foremost, be honest with yourself about what you want and what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Think carefully about your values and the potential fallout of your actions.
Right.
This isn't just about you. It's about everyone involved.
That's such an important point.
Yeah.
We can't make decisions in a vacuum.
Right.
Our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves.
Exactly. And remember, you're not alone.
Yeah.
If you find yourself caught in any of these situations and you're struggling to find your way, there are resources available to help you.
Absolutely.
Talk to a trusted friend, seek guidance from a therapist, or consider couples counseling.
Sometimes an outside perspective can be really helpful.
It can.
Well, that brings our deep dive into the complexities of attraction outside of marriage to a close.
Wow.
Thank you for joining us today on Love Hackers. I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
If you found this deep dive insightful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more relationship advice and love hacks. Hit that like button, leave us a comment, and share this episode with your friends. And before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever found yourself navigating these murky waters of attraction outside of marriage? How did you handle it? Share your experiences in the comments below. Remember, discretion is key. No need to reveal any personal details, just your general experiences and takeaways. Until next time, happy dating, everyone.